With this one, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. The Detroit Lions have Matthew Stafford, who is coming off a okay rookie season. Let's just be honest, the Detroit Lions offensive line doesn't do a very good job of protecting him. So it's not too much that can be said about what the quarterback's doing. I think the Lions might be much better. They've got Ndamukong Suh now, who's pretty much amazing. So it should be interesting to see how this one goes. Jay Cutler didn't have the greatest first year with the Chicago Bears. I definitely think he's an amazing quarterback, and I think he'll do much better this season. Right now, I'm going to just go with the Chicago Bears. Bears overall, they have a more experienced defense, more experienced front line. They also brought in Julius Peppers. So I really think this could be good for them. This might be the year that they finally get to where everyone's been wanting them to be since that was that 2007 when they went to the 2006 season when they went to the Super Bowl. So I'm definitely seeing some pretty good things for them, though. So for that one, I'm going with the Chicago Bears over the Detroit Lions, even though I do think the Lions might have a much better season than they did last year. Next up, we've got Arizona versus St. Louis. This is, of course, a division matchup. This one's going to be pretty interesting. Arizona is coming off a pretty rough couple of weeks. They got rid of their former first round pick, Matt Leinart. He's off to the Texans right now as backup. They brought in Derek Anderson from Cleveland, which is still kind of interesting to me because I'm like, if he couldn't make it in Cleveland, I'm not really sure what Arizona thinks he can do. His passer rating during preseason wasn't the most amazing, even though, I mean, everyone's going to say it was preseason. I understand that. But it's going to be interesting. He's got amazing weapons, though. He's got Beanie Wells with him. He's got Larry Fitzgerald. He's got Steve Breston. Defense is actually still pretty okay. Even though they lost a couple of people, I still think this is a good defense and a good enough defense to get them back into the playoffs. So, as of today, even though St. Louis is coming in with, Sam Bradford as an amazing quarterback, did really well in preseason. Still got Steven Jackson there in the backfield. I'm still personally going to go with the Cardinals. I think they might still have this one. Don't think they'll win the division this year. Think that definitely will go to the 49ers. But I'm seeing them at least beating the St. Louis Rams for the first week of the season. So that's going to be my pick for those two. And then next up, we've got Green Bay versus Philly. Even with Donovan McNabb, I still would have picked Green Bay in this because Aaron Rodgers is definitely proving himself to be the reason why Green Bay was so confident in letting go of Brett Favre and not bringing him back just when he was wanting to come back, because they saw someone that had a lot of chance, had a lot of time to study behind an amazing quarterback, and who had the chance to really learn on his own and really get a good idea of what his style is. And that guy can sling it. I've always known that. I've known that since I watched him play for Cal when I was at ASU. So I know this kid is great, and he's going to keep doing great things. And I see a Super Bowl in the very near future for the Green Bay Packers. And I definitely think with a fairly inexperienced quarterback at Philly, just kind of a little bit of uncertainty overall for that team. This is definitely a rebuilding year, even though they still do have a lot in place. I just really think Green Bay's going to get this one. And like I said, even with Donovan McNabb, I was pretty confident that Green Bay was going to still be able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Then we've got Seattle and San Francisco. Even with the U.S. Seahawks, as a couple of people have called them, thanks to Pete Carroll coming in and bringing in a lot of his former USC players to play for them. I still think, it's a rebuilding team. Seattle's going to be much better than they were in the last couple of years, but I really think the 49ers got this. Alex Smith is getting better. If he's going to be as amazing as everyone thought he was, I'm not sure of that. But I do know this team is the team to be in their division, and I think this is really going to be a year that they finally get over the hump, finally get past the Cardinals, and really make this division theirs, and they're going to do really well. I don't see them getting to the Super Bowl just yet. See a couple years out for that, but I definitely see this team having some big things coming their way pretty soon. My personal favorite game of the entire weekend is going to be the Dallas Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, versus the Washington Redskins. I am still totally objective. I know a good team when I see it. I know a bad team when I see it. And regardless of if I like the team, I'm going to be honest. But I will say I'm still pretty impressed with Dallas Cowboys. I personally think preseason they just weren't showing anything. They were making a conscious decision to keep whatever it was they had planned for their offense to themselves. It was very bland and very basic, and I don't see that as being the Cowboys this season. They're pretty confident in Miles Austin. They just offered him an amazing 6-year contract extension. Des Bryant, that kid is going to be nice. I can already see that, even with a little bit of friction that started early. Now, Roy Williams, that's still something to be seen in my opinion. He was really good when he was with Detroit. I'm really hoping we finally see some flashes of that greatness that we saw then, because he needs to do that. He really needs to do that, not only keep his career going, but to keep the Cowboys going. So, Tony, come on. Please do this for me. I'm confident so Donovan McNabb is definitely going to make the Redskins a better team than they were before. But I just don't see them being past the Cowboys. Sorry, that's just the simple truth. They're better, but they're not that good. Then we've got Baltimore versus the New York Jets. Finally, this is a game that's been coming up all week because the Jets have been, let's be honest, running their mouths a little bit. Don't fault me. I like it. I don't mind. If you can back it up in the end, it doesn't matter. Of course, that's not taken too well by Ray Lewis, who likes to shut people up, and definitely thinks they're the ones that are on top in that division. So personally, not that division, in the AFC. But personally, I think the New York Jets can pull it off. They've got personally a better offense, even though Baltimore's gotten really good at offense. They brought in TJ Houshmandzadeh just a couple of days ago. They got Anquan Boldin from the Arizona Cardinals, and Boldin was amazing. Only reason things were going the way they were is because they had Larry Fitzgerald. So let's be honest, he was second to an amazing guy. So he's pretty tops himself. So I see this team doing a lot as far as offense. I just don't see him getting past the Jets. Jets have still an amazing defense. Got Revis back just in time like I thought they would. And their offense is good. I think Sanchez is definitely going to still be really good. I know everyone's seeing a sophomore slump from him. And there might be a little fall off, but I don't see it being much of a fall off, and I don't see it being enough to have them not have a good season. So I'm thinking this is going to go well for them. Then finally, we've got San Diego versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is easy. I don't care what San Diego's lost. They're still going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Thanks. That's it. Those are my picks, guys. If you've got any questions, I'm going to go ahead. I have this video out, but then I'm going to also go ahead and just post on my blog all of my picks. If you've got any questions, hit me up at L Rochelle. That's LROCHELLE at hardwooddiva.com. If you've got any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I will see you next week for the Divas